Alright, so what is up, guys? Suda Savage back, and, man, it's been a while since I've actually talked fully about a Saints game that happened, but today I just wanted to talk about this one because we lost the 49ers in a complete barn burner, 48-46. Now, the last time I actually made a video where I talked about a loss, well, at least a Saints loss in depth, was 11 months ago with my reflection on the NFC Championship game. So, this video, I dread filming these videos. These are the kind of videos I try to avoid. It's the videos where I'm kind of negative instead of positive, but this time, I have to make a statement because this loss hurts really, really badly. This could ruin our chances in the playoffs and even going for a Super Bowl in general. So, let's just get this video started. So, starting off, 49ers versus Saints. Basically, if you guys remember last season, week 11 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams, the final score of that game was 54-51, and this was super close to that. It was an incredible game played, but it sucked that it had to be a 1 o'clock game. That's my first complaint. And New Orleans, we led for a bit of this game. We had many chances to win, but unfortunately, the 49ers prevailed. And there were three main things that went into this loss: Sean Payton, defense, and discipline in key situations. So, to get this started, let's start out with Sean Payton. So, clearly, today he was feeling incredibly dangerous. He was making making huge play calls. So, pretty early on in the game, mid first quarter, Saints take a 13-7 lead after a 26-yard touchdown by Jared Cook as Brees threw him a pass, and Cook made the catch, but A. Witherspoon for the 49ers ends up committing a hit to his head, committed a very dirty hit. It was unnecessary roughness, so Cook goes out, and we get a penalty. They get the penalty, and we have a chance, and we have two options: either enforce it on kickoff. Either we can enforce the penalty on the kickoff, or we can enforce the penalty on the PAT, or point after attempt, after touchdown. So we decide to enforce it on the PAT, and we choose to go for two. So already, we don't need to go for two. We're up by 6. Let's just play it safe, get 7, and then just move on with our game and give them 15 and make them go back 15 yards. But of course, Sean Payton tries to pull out a trick play with Taysom Hill, but unfortunately it does not work. And then the second time that he got super, super aggressive was about midway in the third quarter, nearing the end of the third quarter. So the Saints, we go 3 and out, and we're at midfield. So Sean Payton decides it's 4th and 18, and we're at midfield. So he decides we pull out the punt team, but of course we have Taysom Hill who catches the ball, and we run a fake, and he throws a deep pass to Tre'Quan Smith, which was incomplete. Now, first off, 4th and 18, that is incredibly dangerous. I know we wanted to try to pull off something amazing, but it wasn't worth it. Because there was a rule that the Saints knew, that the 49ers knew, that the Saints did not know, that whenever you're in punt formation, you can be as aggressive. You can be as hands-on with the wide receivers as possible if they're possibly going out. Because what happened was, when Taysom Hill went to throw the ball, Tre'Quan Smith was trying to go for the ball, but the 49ers defender was all around him, wasn't giving him anything. I was thinking, where's the flag? Is that PI? But it turns out, on a punt, the PI rules are completely null and voided. So there was no PI, and the 49ers played that perfectly. So, of course, at this point, we were down by 2, so I'm thinking, let's punt and just try to get the ball back. 49ers would kill off a ton of clock and would just get the touchdown eventually. So, yeah, that was one of the big parts in the loss. And then number 2 was defense. Honestly, you had to see this coming on defense. We gave up about 500 yards on defense, and we were considered to have one of the better defenses in the league. Now, both these teams, the offenses were just going crazy. I mean, the Saints, we had less offensive yards, but we made up for that because of Deontay Harris, the punt returner, who had 155 returning yards from kickoffs and 37 returning yards from punts. So he made up a very good chunk of yardage, which is why the 49ers outdueled us in terms of yards. But anyways, nothing else I can really say, but of course the defense. You allow 48 points. Who else would we look to play in the offense? No, the offense was the furthest thing away from this loss. Because Brees, he was incredible. 349 yards and 5 touchdowns, followed that up with a rushing touchdown with his classic fleur de lis. But one of the big parts, I can't blame the offense. There is one person I do blame on offense, and that goes right to Alvin Kamara. Surprisingly, one of our best players was responsible for a big reason why we lost. Because here's what happened. So we make the 49ers go 3 and out. We did a very good job. The defense, we did something, but of course, Alvin Kamara, on the very first play of a drive, nearing the beginning of the end of the third quarter, maybe about 10 minutes to go in the third, he fumbled the ball and the 49ers got it back. Just one play. It took them one play. We didn't even kill off any clock. They just immediately got it back. So, of course, that was already a horrible situation because they would eventually go down and it would take them just 2 plays to score because they were in perfect field condition. They were within 20 yards. So, obviously, that was another big part of the loss. But, and of course, Emmanuel Sanders just completely torched us. But one of the main parts where he torched us was on this one play where Garoppolo threw a 75-yard touchdown. Now, part of that was because Von Bell all of a sudden couldn't cover him anymore, and Marcus Williams looked like he fell, and then Sanders, he caught it, but he fell, but he wasn't down by contact, so we had to run, and we weren't even able to tackle him. That was it. And finally, the final part that cost us was our discipline in key situations. Now, in my videos, if you watch me on Snapchat, you see my post-game ramblings, and if you've seen on YouTube a couple times, I do go into the fact that the Saints, we have been incredibly undisciplined this year. This time, we actually showed a very good amount of discipline, which I was happy about. But at certain points, we were undisciplined at the most important parts of the game defensively. And one of the main guys behind that was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who is one of our cornerbacks that we had drafted this year. So, anyways, I'm going to bring up the 2 big parts of his comeuppance, or his failures. So, firstly, the 49ers, it's 3rd and 7, and we sacked Jimmy Garoppolo, and we're thinking, perfect, we made them go 3 and out. But then all of a sudden, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got called for defensive holding. And that's a 5-yard penalty, but in defensive holding, that's a penalty, but it's an automatic first down. No matter how many yards you went back, no matter how many yards you had to go, that is an automatic first down. Basically, any defensive penalty that isn't offside or encroachment is an automatic first down. And then finally, another one was 3rd and 8. And Jimmy Garoppolo throws a pass to the fullback Kyle Juszczyk, and we stop him, and he had 6 yards to go. We stop him, but all of a sudden, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, it wasn't a helmet-to-helmet hit, but he did get called for unnecessary roughness. It was enforced. The ball had to be half the distance to the goal, and it was an automatic first down. And then the 49ers, it would take them 2 plays right after just to convert. And finally, the final one was on Marcus Williams. So 4th and 2, game on the line, and it's a short pass to Kittle. He's got it for a first down. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, once again, he actually missed the tackle. So the final guy that could possibly stop him was Marcus Williams. Actually, no, Gardner-Johnson didn't miss it. But Williams, the first second that he tried to take him down, he went right for the face mask. So he goes down. Kittle got quite a lot of yardage, but what really hurt was that we stopped him at the 31 or somewhere around there, and of course the face mask, that's a 15-yard penalty automatic first down, and it is enforced at the end of the play. So instantly, they are in prime field goal range, and Robbie Gould would kick the 30-yarder to win it. So honestly, those were some of the main parts on why we lost. But the thing is, we win and lose as a team. We lost. We made a couple mistakes on offense and on defense. You know, there's the main people that did bring us down in this loss, but honestly, it was the team. We all lost together. We win as a team and we lose as a team. That's the one thing I can't forget. It's a team effort. But to put the final word in, right now the Saints, we are in a very, very bad position because all of a sudden we don't have one of the top two seeds anymore. We are the third seed. Now, why is that concerning? Because the Saints, we play much better in the Superdome. It's just a proven fact. Breeze has a better playoff record at home than on the road, and home means everything in the playoffs, and so does a first-round bye. So starting off, currently the people that have the two byes are the 49ers and the Packers. And we need help from other teams to stop them. So currently Green Bay, their schedule to end the year involves the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions. Wait, no. Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit Lions. Now, already, that's not looking good because I know the Bears have been surging and the Vikings, they've actually been pretty good this year, but I'm putting the fate of our season in the hands of the Lions is not good. It's just not going to work out. Then you have the 49ers. They have the Falcons, the Rams, and the Seahawks to finish off the year. Falcons, I don't know if they're going to get it done. I just can't get a good grasp on them. The Rams, I don't know if they're even going to get it done. They've just been way too inconsistent this year. The only glimmer of hope I have is from the Seahawks. And of course, the Seahawks do also play a very important part in this. Because what's going to happen is the Seahawks, if they win on Sunday Night Football, they will actually have the lead. They will have the first seed because they still hold tiebreaker over the San Francisco 49ers. But here's what I'm going to have happen. I need the Seahawks to lose one of their next few games, but I need them to at least be tied with the 49ers. I need them to beat the 49ers. I want the 49ers and the Seahawks to be tied, but in order for this to work out, I need the Seahawks to have the tiebreaker still, which I'm not sure if that's even going to happen, if they're going to have the tiebreaker. But Seahawks need to have the tiebreaker over the 49ers because you do division first, and then if we are tied with those three, we end up on top because the division comes first. So Seahawks, they will be over the 49ers, but the Saints would be over the Seahawks. And the Saints, we don't get to play the Packers this year. We ended up getting stuck with the Chicago Bears, which sucks because that really hurt for a chance for us to maybe have some kind of tiebreaker over Green Bay. Currently, Green Bay, their tiebreaker is the fact that they've done better against the conference. The Saints, we've lost all three of our games this year against the three games that we lost were to people that were in the conference. And we only get to play the conference one more time. In order for us to still have tiebreaker over the Packers, I need them to lose the rest of their games to actually have a shot to win. But honestly, I still think the Saints, we could lock up the number one seed. We're going to need a few miracles, and currently on our schedule, we have the Colts at home on Monday Night Football, the Titans, who I can't get a grasp on, and the Carolina Panthers, who I also can't get a grasp on. So honestly, those three teams, we need to win the rest of our games, straight up. And that's the only way we can get the number one seed. But we're not getting the fourth seed because the Cowboys and the Eagles, whoever wins that is going to win the division, but get the fourth seed and play either the Seahawks or the 49ers. Maybe the Vikings, but I don't know. At this point, if the Saints, we're most likely going to play the Vikings, and they bring back horrible memories. Like, it's true, the Saints, we did beat the Vikings to move on to the Super Bowl, but we did also lose to the Vikings in the Minneapolis Miracle. Just the rest of the season's uncertain. For the Saints, we need to pull up clutch. That's going to end my video for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This video didn't take that much planning. I just knew I wanted to talk about it. If you want to see the rest of my videos, I'll leave the link to them in the description below. I'm just going to leave the link to my Week 14 predictions in the link. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what other kind of videos you want to see. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat as SudoSavage. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Peace